lecture of Standard 9, Chapter 8, Motion. Today we will discuss two more terms, that is velocity and acceleration. In this velocity, as I had mentioned, that velocity is the speed of an object moving in a definite direction. We have seen that speed is the rate of motion. Now, if that speed is indefinite, in specific, in same direction, that becomes velocity. So, first thing, that velocity is the speed with direction. That means that becomes the vector quantity. As we have discussed, two types of quantities are there, vector and scalar. Then we had discussed uniform motion and non-uniform motion. So it is possible that velocity, that is change in speed or change in direction or change in speed as well as in direction, everything is possible. So in that situation, we can say that in that case the object is traveling with variable speed. And whenever we are having variable speed, non-uniform speed, we need to find the average of that for the whole journey. So now we are defining average velocity. The symbol is V and AV stands for average. And we are having the formula, the distance with direction, that becomes displacement. So for speed we were having the formula distance upon time. For velocity we are having displacement upon total time taken. Then the other possibility, second case, that object may travel with uniform speed. Remember that uniform motion is an ideal situation. But if we are having uniform motion, then in that situation the average velocity will be VAV is equals to initial velocity plus final velocity divided by 2. As in each interval of time, the velocity remains the same. So we can take U plus V, where U stands for initial velocity and V stands for the final velocity. So initial velocity plus final velocity divided by 2 gives us the answer of the uniform velocity of the object. Now what happens that if this velocity is also changing? Remember that first we had discussed distance and displacement. The rate of distance is speed and the rate of displacement is velocity. Now if this velocity is also changing, it may be uniform also. And in that situation, we need still one more quantity to explain the change in velocity. If the object is traveling with uniform velocity, it means the object is not changing its direction, it is not changing its speed also. Say 5 km per hour, then every 1 hour 5 km, every 1 hour 5 km, every 1 hour 5 km. That is considered as uniform as there is no change in direction also. So we had mentioned that during uniform motion, change in velocity for any time interval will be always 0. What will be the unit of the velocity? As velocity is displacement upon time, we are having the unit meter for displacement and second for the time. So the unit of velocity will be same as of speed, that is meter per second. But if this velocity is changing as we were discussing, so in that situation, if it's uniform, then change in velocity will be 0. But if the velocity is changing, that means the object is traveling with non-uniform velocity. In that situation, we can say that a measure of the change in velocity of an object per unit time is defined as acceleration is equals to change in velocity upon time. So we are having new quantity, that is acceleration, and that says, that explains the change in velocity in unit time. So here we are having velocity in numerator, and again that velocity we are comparing with reference to time. So the unit for acceleration we will have meter per second for velocity, and another second is added. So the unit is meter per second square, and the symbolical formula for acceleration is equals to small a, stands for acceleration, v for the final velocity, and u stands for the initial velocity. So a equals to v minus u divided by time. So we had discussed two quantities, velocity and acceleration. In exam, the difference between speed and velocity, as well as the difference between velocity and acceleration is asked. Remember the definition, the formula and the units, whether they are scalar or vector, and one examples of each. That can give you 2 marks of differences. Still in acceleration, there are 2 possibilities. That change in velocity, it means the object is traveling with maximum speed and it slows down. And second situation, the object is starting either from rest or it starts slowly and it attains its highest velocity. So the case where we are having final velocity v is greater than u, it is acceleration. But think, my dear friends, if final velocity is less, when this is possible? When we are applying brakes, the final speed will be less than the initial speed. So in this formula we will get the answer in negative, and that type of motion is known as retarded motion or decelerated motion. Now the last point, this change in velocity can also be uniform and non-uniform. Means try to understand that if at every second the increment is equal, in first second 1 meter, In second, the increment is 2 meter. In third second, the increment is of 3 meter. So 1, 2, 3 increment is there, but that increment is equal. So that type of acceleration is uniform acceleration, and the objects which are falling freely, that means only under the effect of gravitational force, are said to be in uniform accelerated motion. Say any fruit is falling from the tree. So it is traveling with uniform acceleration. Its speed is increasing. It is in the same direction. And that's why velocity with equal increment is considered as uniform acceleration. And in practical life, wherever we are traveling, by car or by scooter or by bus or by train, we cannot have the equal increment or decrement in the speed. And that's why we can say that we are traveling with non-uniform acceleration. Now let us solve the numericals in detail. We have seen that a farmer is moving on a square field. Total time we have converted into second was 140 seconds. So he can complete 3.5 rounds in this time interval. And as he is completing 3.5 rounds, his position, if he starts from point A, then from point A to B, C, D and again A is 1 round. So after completing 3 rounds, he will come back here and another half round. And in that situation, his position will be at C. Now, you can consider this ABC part as right angle triangle, right? And we have to find out the displacement, which is the shortest path. So from A to C, the shortest path will be the diagonal of the square. And this part, if we are considering, then it will be the right angle triangle. So according to Pythagoras theorem, he has given the formula for finding the diagonal or the hypotenuse of the right angle triangle as AC square is equals to AD square plus BC square. We are knowing the value of AB, it is 10, so 10 square, plus BC is also given as 10, so 10 square. Square of 10 is 100 and 100 plus 100 is 200. So we are getting the answer as 200 for AC square. And we have to find out AC. So AC is equals to under root AC square, and that is equals to under root 200. So we are getting AC equals to under root 100 into 2. The square root of 100 is 10. 2 we are keeping as it is in under root. So the displacement, that is from A to C, we are getting as 2 under root, that we are getting as 10 under root 2. This 2 will remain as it is and under root of 100 will be 10. So 10 under root 2 meter has been travelled, that is the shortest path during this time interval. This was the square field. In exercise, we are having another question of the same type, and the athlete is moving on the circular path. Remember friends, here we are not doing the mathematics, but the formulas of all the basic concepts of mathematics, that is circumference or perimeter, you are supposed to use over here. So in this case we have to find out both the things, distance as well as displacement. So distance travelled in 140 seconds will be 3.5 rounds, and in that situation 3.5 rounds, one round, that is the circumference of the circle, and that type of 3.5 rounds, so we can write that for distance travelled is equals to circumference of circle multiplied with 3.5, and we are knowing the formula of circumference of the circle as 2 pi r. Just substitute the values 2 into 22 upon 7, the value of pi. Diameter is given to us as 200 meter. So divided by 2, so we will get the radius as 100 meter. So substitute that also over here. 100 multiplied by 3.5 rounds. So I can write 35 by 10 if I am removing the decimal point. Then I can cancel this 0. 7 5s are 35. Now I don't have anything in denominator, so I just have to multiply. 22 2s are 44. 44 multiplied by 5 and multiplied by 50, we can say, or 10 is equals to, I will get the answer 2200 meter. But the displacement after 3.5 rounds, once again, so 3 rounds means the athlete has started, say, from point A. So A to again A will complete 1 round. Likewise, he has completed 3 rounds, and in that situation the answer of the displacement will be 0. But for another half round, again he will start from A and he will reach to the point B. And that distance is the diameter of the circle. So in case of displacement travelled by the athlete, displacement equals to diameter, and diameter of the circle is given as 200 meter. So displacement is only 200 meter. Try to get this concept that distance is always greater than or equals to the displacement. Here the path is circular, so your answer of displacement should be less, should be smaller than or equal to distance travelled, not more than that.